The sound was deafening. A deep, low rumble, like the sky itself was growling. Cold wind slapped his face, his eyes shot open. Everything was dark, except for flashes of blue lightning cutting across a thick, swirling sky. He gasped for air, but the air was thin and sharp, like breathing through a narrow tube. He was floating. Panic hit him like a wave. His arms flailed, but there was nothing to grab. He was suspended in the air, or was it water? The sky above him churned with massive clouds, the color of bruises. Below, only more storm, more clouds, stretching forever. He didn't know his name, he didn't know how he got there. All he knew was the storm. Then, a voice crackled in his ear. "Unit 47, do you read me? Unit 47, respond!" The voice was faint, but it was there. He touched the side of his head and felt a small device lodged behind his ear. He pressed it. "I'm here," he whispered, his throat dry. "Where am I?" There was a pause. Then the voice returned, shaky but clearer. "You're in the Neptune Atmosphere Experiment Zone. You were sent to study the storm. You're alive. Thank God. We thought we lost you in the descent. Neptune?" He tried to remember. His mind was blank. He looked down again. Nothing but clouds, wind, and lightning. The wind howled louder. "Help me," he said. "I don't remember anything. I don't know who I am." Another pause. The voice sounded concerned. "We don't have much time. Your pod malfunctioned. You're floating in the upper storm layer, but not for long. If you fall deeper, you won't survive. The pressures will crush you. Listen to me carefully. Do you see the beacon light?" He turned his head desperately, squinting through the gloom. Then he saw it. A faint red light blinking far off in the distance, barely visible through the clouds. "Yes," he said. "Good. That's the extraction drone. It's moving towards you, but slowly. You have a suit. Check your left wrist. You should have propulsion control." He looked. His suit was torn in places, but there was a small screen on his wrist. The words were hard to read, but he saw a blinking option. "Boost." He hesitated. "Press it," the voice urged. He pressed it. With a sudden jolt, his body shot forward, air screaming in his ears. The storm seemed to fight him, trying to push him back, but the suit held. For a moment he felt hope. Then the boost sputtered. A warning flashed. "Power low." "No," he muttered. "Keep going." The voice commanded, "You're close." Lightning struck nearby, so bright he had to shut his eyes. The beacon light disappeared in the flash. When he opened them, the red light was gone. Only the roaring storm remained. "I lost it," he cried. "Stay calm," the voice said, but it sounded farther away. "We're recalculating your position. Hold on." But then, silence. Only the storm's voice, growling and howling. His body started sinking. He felt it, the pull downward, deeper into the storm. The winds weren't just wind. They were like invisible hands, dragging him lower. "No," he whispered. "Please." A memory flickered, a woman's face, smiling, saying something. But then, it was gone. He tried to fight the sinking, kicking and struggling, but it was useless. His body was getting heavier, the sky was getting darker. Then he saw it. A shadow, moving inside the clouds. It was huge, bigger than any creature he could imagine. Moving slowly, like a whale swimming deep under the sea, its shape half hidden by clouds. It passed near him and he felt it. A presence. Not just a beast. Something aware. Watching. He froze, his heart pounding. Then another lightning flash. For a split second, he saw it clearly. A massive, serpent-like form with glowing eyes. The eyes locked onto him. And then it was gone into the dark. He was shaking. "Control," he called out. "Are you there? Something is here. Something's watching me." Silence. The air grew colder. His visor showed warnings. Temperature dropping. Altitude falling. Pressure increasing. He was sinking fast. Another voice crackled in his ear, but it was different. Deeper. "You are not supposed to be here." He froze. "Who is this?" he asked. No answer. "Who are you?" The voice returned, slow and calm. "You forgot because you crossed the threshold. Memory fades in the deep storm. You were warned." He didn't understand. His head hurt. I don't remember. I don't know who I am. There was a pause. Then the voice said, You came to hunt us. What? No! He shouted. I don't even know you. The voice was quiet. Then it said, But we know you. Lightning flashed again. The serpent shadow was closer now, watching. Then, a light. A bright white beam piercing the storm, shining down from above. It was the drone beacon. It had found him again. The voice in his ear, the first voice, returned urgent. We see you. The drone is locked on. Stay still. He wanted to believe them. He wanted to escape. But he looked into the dark, where the shadow creature watched. And the deep voice said, If you leave, you'll never remember. But if you stay, you will know everything. The light above shined down, waiting. The shadow below waited too. He was caught between them. His mind screamed for answers. Who was he? Why was he here? And what was hiding inside Neptune's endless storm? The drone's light got closer. But so did the shadow. He had to choose. And as the storm roared louder, the decision had to be made. To reach for the light, or to fall deeper into the dark. The light was so close. It felt warm, steady, and safe, like the promise of home. But the shadow below felt heavier, like it was calling him, Stay still. We're locking onto you, the voice from control said in his ear, sharp and urgent. But then the deep voice returned. Come down. You want to remember. That's why you came. His hands trembled. His body was still sinking. Slowly but surely. I don't know who I am, he whispered. You will, the deep voice answered. If you trust me. Let go. Lightning split the sky again, and for a second, the massive serpent-like shadow was clear. Its eyes glowed like blue suns. Then it was gone into the dark. Unit 47. Control shouted, If you fall any deeper, we can't retrieve you. Boost again. Now! He looked at his wrist. The boost option flashed, but next to it was another alert. Final power use. Irreversible. One press would send him upward to the drone's light, or he could let himself fall. His heart pounded. His mind was spinning. Then a flash of memory hit him, the woman's face again. She was laughing. She called him by a name. Evan, Evan, he whispered. Was that his name? Then another memory, a control room, a window overlooking a deep gas storm, people in suits monitoring screens. Someone said, They're alive. Something is alive down there. Then, darkness again. Who am I? Evan shouted into the storm. The deep voice answered, soft and heavy like a giant speaking through mist. You are the one they sent to kill us. The wind screamed louder. No, Evan said. That's not me. I don't want to kill anyone. They made you forget. But your mind remembers, beneath the cloud of lies. Fall, and I will show you. He was crying now, the storm freezing his tears. He looked up. The white light of the drone was still waiting. I can't decide, Evan whispered. Then the voice from control returned, softer now, almost pleading, Evan. Come back. You have a family. You have a life. Don't let them win. Boost now! Family. The woman. He tried to see her face, but it was fading again. He had to choose. His fingers hovered over the boost button, but his body felt heavier, pulled downward. I want to remember, he said finally. And he let go. He fell. The light vanished above him, swallowed by the storm. He was falling faster, clouds whipping past like rivers of smoke. The pressure hurt, like his bones would break. His screen flashed red warnings, alarms ringing. Critical pressure. Critical temperature. Then everything stopped. Silence. His body wasn't falling anymore. He was standing. But where? The sky was still swirling, but softer now, almost gentle. The storm had parted into a wide open space, with a strange blue glow all around. It was like standing inside a living cloud, and before him stood the creature. A serpent, but not just that. It had a face, old and wise, with eyes deep like oceans. Its body was made of light and cloud, shifting and flowing with the storm. Evan could only stare. You are awake, the creature said. "What are you?" Evan asked, his voice shaking. "I am called the Memory Keeper. We live in the deep storm, where time and thought mix. You came to find us, but they made you forget." Evan touched his head. His mind was aching, as if walls were crumbling inside. "I don't remember why," he said. "Why did I come?" The creature moved closer, its glowing eyes calm to destroy us. "Because your people feared what we could do. We are the keepers of memory, of knowledge lost in the universe. Those who reach us can remember everything, even past lives, even the truth of their soul." Evan stared at the creature. "Why would I want to kill you?" "Because your leaders wanted power. If they could control us, they could control memory itself. They could rewrite truth." Evan's knees felt weak. "No, that's wrong. I wouldn't do that." The creature's voice was gentle. "But you did. You led the mission. You agreed to the plan. But when you arrived here, something changed. You saw us, and you refused. So they made you forget, and threw you back into the storm, hoping you'd never return." Evan shook his head. It couldn't be true. But deep down, he felt it, the woman's face. His memories, it was coming back. He remembered standing in a ship, arguing with officers. He remembered saying, "We can't destroy them. We don't understand them yet." Then, a betrayal, a sharp pain. Then, darkness. "Why did I come back?" Evan asked, his voice a whisper. The Memory Keeper looked at him kindly. "Because your heart remembered what your mind forgot. Now you are here. And you can choose again." "Choose what?" "To take your memories back. To remember everything." "But there is a price." Evan's body shook with cold. "What price?" "If you remember, you can never return to the surface. You will belong to the storm. But you will know who you are, who you were, and who you can become." Evan looked up, but the clouds had sealed above. No light from the drone. No escape. He was alone, with only the Keeper and the endless storm. "What if I don't want to stay?" he asked. "Then your mind will remain empty. You will forget again, and the storm will swallow you. Until nothing remains." Evan closed his eyes. He saw the woman again. His wife. Her name was Lila. He saw his life. His home. His mission. His betrayal. And he saw the storm, the creatures, the truth they held. He opened his eyes. "I want to remember," he said. The Keeper nodded. "Then come forward, and take the storm into your soul." Evan stepped forward. The wind rose around him. The storm roared. The Keeper's eyes glowed brighter. Then everything turned to light. His mind exploded with memories, colors, sounds, lives, and truths he had never known. He screamed, but not in pain, in awakening. Then, darkness and silence. Evan woke up lying on solid ground, but this was no ordinary ground. It shimmered like glass, yet felt soft beneath him. The sky above was not dark, but glowing softly in shades of blue and silver. Clouds moved in slow spirals, alive and breathing. Floating islands of rock hovered nearby, glowing with thin streams of light running through them like veins. For a moment, Evan thought he was dreaming, but the cold wind brushing his face reminded him. This was real. Then he remembered the Keeper. He sat up quickly, his heart racing. The serpent-like creature was there, resting on a massive rock nearby, watching him with calm, glowing eyes. "You're awake," the Keeper said. Its voice was inside Evan's mind again. Deep, slow, and full of knowing what. "What did you do to me?" Evan asked, still gasping. "I unlocked what was already inside you." The Keeper said, "Your memories." Your truth. Evan tried to remember. Slowly, like a film playing backward, the pieces returned. His name was Evan Dray. He was the lead scientist on a secret mission called Operation Deep Storm. Humanity had discovered strange signals from Neptune's atmosphere, patterns too organized to be random, a hidden intelligence, they thought. But the mission was never about peace. It was a military order, to locate, assess, and, if necessary, eliminate whatever was hiding in Neptune's depths. Evan had disagreed. He argued with his superiors. He fought to change their minds. But when they descended into Neptune's storm, something went wrong. A mutiny. They attacked him. stripped his memories using experimental tech designed to wipe the mind. They left him adrift in the storm to die, but his heart had remembered, and that brought him back here. Evan looked at the keeper, his voice shaking. They wanted to destroy you. Yes, the keeper said, because we hold what they fear. The truth. What truth? Evan asked. The keeper's massive body shifted. We are the memory keepers. We have existed here since before your species looked up at the stars. We collect memories, not just of individuals, but of civilizations, of time itself. Every world that falls, every mind that dies. We remember. Evan stood slowly, his knees weak. Why, he asked. Why collect memories? Because memory is life. Without it, all things fade. Civilizations die, not when they fall, but when they are forgotten. We preserve what would otherwise be lost. Evan felt small before the keeper's words. Why did I come back? He whispered to himself. The keeper answered. Because your soul knew what your mind could not. That knowledge must not be destroyed. That memory must be protected. That is why you are here. Evan looked around. Other shapes moved in the distance. More keepers, swimming through the glowing air. A whole hidden world beneath Neptune's storm, where memories of 1,000 worlds floated unseen. Then Evan remembered the woman. Lila, his wife. I remember everything, he asked, even her. The keeper's eyes softened. You already do. You just need to feel it. Evan closed his eyes. And then he saw her. Lila, standing in their garden back on Earth, laughing as the rain fell. He remembered her voice, her touch, her words. He remembered the promises they made. He remembered their last night together, before the mission. She had told him to come back. Tears streamed down his face, I remember, he whispered. The keeper moved closer. Now you must choose, it said. You can stay here among us and become a keeper of memory. Or you can return to your world, but with your memories intact, and the burden they carry. What burden? The burden of truth, that your leaders tried to erase. That they betrayed you. That they seek to control not just people, but history itself. Evan stood in silence. Then another voice entered his ear. The control voice. Faint and crackling. Evan, if you're alive, please respond. They were still searching for him. The drone was still above, waiting to pull him back. He looked up, through the layers of glowing clouds. Then back at the keeper. What would you choose? Evan asked. The keeper's voice was calm. I have chosen long ago. To remember. To never forget. That is our gift, and our curse. Evan looked down at his hands. He remembered everything now. His name, his life, his mission, the betrayal, the truth of the keepers. And he knew, whatever he chose, there was no turning back. Then the voice in his ear repeated, louder this time. Evan, if you can hear this, boost your beacon. We'll pull you out. Please. We're running out of time. Quote, Evan breathed deeply. He could leave, return to Earth, bring the truth, face the ones who had betrayed him, or he could stay, become one of the keepers, never to return, but never to forget. The storm around him grew quieter, as if waiting for his decision. He closed his eyes and made his choice. Evan opened his eyes. The keeper was still watching him, unmoving, waiting. Above, the faint sound of the drone's call still echoed in his ear. Evan, please respond. We can bring you home. Home. He thought of Earth, of the woman he loved, Lila, of the life he left behind. But now he remembered everything. The betrayal by his own mission team, the plan to erase the existence of the keepers, the military's fear of any force that could hold the memories of civilizations. He clenched his fists. Can I go back with the truth? He asked the keeper. If I return, can I tell them everything? The keeper's voice was soft but heavy. You can. But they will try to silence you. They will not let the truth spread easily. Your life will never be the same. Evan looked up, imagining Earth, the sky, the sun, Lila's face smiling at him. He felt the warmth of that memory. But then he looked around the glowing world of the deep storm. The creatures, the floating islands, the endless knowledge stored here. Memories of stars, worlds, lives, all gone, but never forgotten. I can't let them be erased, he said quietly. The universe deserves to remember. The keeper moved closer, its eyes deep and endless. Then you must return. Carry the memory inside you. But understand this. Once you leave, you can never come back. The storm allows one choice. Evan's heart pounded. He looked up again. He tapped his wrist. The screen was still blinking. Beacon activation. Yes, no. His finger hovered, shaking. Then he pressed yes. A sound roared above. The drone had locked onto him. A beam of light broke through the clouds, piercing down to where he stood. The keeper watched silently. Evan felt the pull, his body rising, the storm parting as the drone's energy lifted him higher. He looked down at the keeper. "Thank you," Evan said. "I won't forget." "No," the keeper replied. "You will remember. That is your gift." "And your burden," Evan ascended, higher and higher, through the glowing clouds, the pressure easing, the cold fading. Then he burst through the top of the storm. A dark, endless sky stretched above, stars scattered like silver dust. The drone hovered nearby, its lights blinking. A voice came through, loud and clear. "Evan, we've got you. Hold on." They pulled him aboard. A ship waited, sleek, cold, metallic. Scientists and officers stared at him, some shocked, some relieved. But Evan's eyes were clear now. He remembered who he was, what he had seen, and what they had done. As they removed his helmet, the captain leaned in. "You don't remember anything, do you?" the captain asked, a faint smile hiding behind his words. Evan stared straight at him. "I remember everything," Evan said. The captain's smile faded. Evan sat up slowly. The stars outside the window sparkled. He had come back, but he was not the same. Inside his mind, the storm still whispered. The memories of the keepers, of ancient worlds, of forgotten civilizations, all alive inside him. And he knew his mission now, to make sure the universe never forgot again. Because memory was life. And he would remember. Forever.